Hey, Julie, you gave the invitation at a Christian business leaders breakfast last week.
I did.
And then the main speaker had some had some comments that kind of caught your attention.
Yeah, it really spoke to me. He was speaking about leadership and leading what you do not own. And what I realized is none of us own our businesses. It's really God that owns them. And we are the stewards of those businesses. And I had not been thinking about Abundant Thought Revolution in that way.
Okay.
And so it gave me a mind shift to think more about being a steward of this thing that God has created.
Yeah.
And it's not what are we doing, but what is God doing that we can join him in.
Yeah. Some people just kind of start down the path and then say, God, bless me, bless me.
Right.
Right? Yeah.
We need to figure out where he's working and join him.
Join him. That's how we co-labor, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So the speaker used Psalm 24:1, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, to say that God owns everything.
Yes.
Yeah. As he was talking, I was also recognizing a contrast between stewardship or leading as a steward and servant leadership.
Right.
Now, a lot of Christians talk about servant leadership, and John Maxwell did a great job of making that term popular. And I think it's really a valuable concept as a correction to people who have a lot of self-ego, or they're trying to promote themselves, or they're seeking what can I get out of things,
their own power, whatever.
Power, money, prestige. What can I get out of this business? What can I get out of the people who work for me? But it also has an effect of like diminishing us, right? Pulling back, withdrawing, shrinking a little bit. We have
as a servant leader, you mean?
As a servant leader,
right.
yeah. We have the image of Jesus washing the disciples' feet and with a towel around his waist as the servant leader. And that's in John 13. But he also gives us lots of great images in his teaching and his practice of being a steward. And a steward cares for something that doesn't belong to him or her, but they're in charge of it. In Matthew 25, there's the parable of the talents, where Jesus talks about a landowner or a master who gave 1 talent, 2 talents, 5 talents, sums of money to his workers and asked them to do business with them. And he rewarded those who doubled the money. Right. And they expanded. They were entrusted because they had gifts, capabilities, capacities, etc. And he didn't want them to shrink. He wanted them to use their abilities.
Yes.
Yeah. And then in John 17, what's often called the high priestly prayer, Jesus is praying to the Father and explaining that he has taken good care of everything that God put into his hands. I haven't lost anybody. And we've got this message that you entrusted to me, and now it's going into the world. They're staying in the world to continue to expand, to increase. And so steward leadership is different from servant leadership. We need to get our egos out of the way and be servants. We need to serve well.
Right.
But steward leadership is about leading and serving and caring in such a way that whatever has been entrusted to us gets maximized and increased and abounds and expands.
Yes.
So, abundant thought revolution. Not just servant leadership, but steward leadership. All right, good.